Welcome back to our vlog. It's a beautiful day. I just literally turned on the camera and saw that I look good in this lighting right now. And I was just like, you know what? What a beautiful time to just start the vlog. Literally just did that. Ain't that right, babe?
That is correct.
Alright, now I can't get her looking at herself right now on this camera. She's driving. And check out this shirt that she got me, this sweater. It's not fitting for a god or not. Look at that. That's me. You know? But yeah. So what are some ways you can befriend your fears instead of looking at your fears like they're enemies? What are some ways you can do that?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
I think some ways that we can befriend our fears or possibly alchemize or heal them or turn them into something is by seeing them as like vulnerable or a part of vulnerability that's within yourself that you want to have an understanding of without like shaming it, or you don't want to further traumatize that exposed vulnerability for you. You want to make it feel safe. Like if you look at it like that, like just making yourself feel safe, like because you can trust yourself, because you are capable and you are willing and you have a good mind on you focused on what's good for you, then of course you can trust yourself,
Right. Trust yourself and really just, creating a space for yourself. So,
Yeah.
You know what? And I agree with that. And I was thinking about this question the other day as well. And what came to me was some interesting things that I realized that some people actually already do that I know, which is cool. And I was thinking, well, what is one way I can befriend my fears? You can make a joke out of it, so it doesn't have to feel as intense. Like for example, something. What's a good one? Or you don't even have to make a joke out of it. You could be like, just change the energy of it, change the angle at which you're seeing it, and create a little a hypothetical scenario to see it in that energy. Yeah, I think that works for me. So, yeah, there's many ways one can do that. Now, why would one want to do that? That's so you can look at it, sit there and look at it, and do what you got to do. In that case, you can call that changing the perspective or coping with it. How can you cope with just looking at facing your fears and really understanding it and it's okay actually, man. It's okay that you are afraid of the dark. A lot of people are, and you can talk to yourself like that, you can kind of imagine that you're giving yourself advice from another, as if you were talking to someone else with that same fear. What advice would you give them? Switch the roles, and then you change your own energy. Actually, what I probably would say is, and then you take your own advice from there on. Who knows? It's many different ways. I like to do that one actually, too. It's like I become my parent. I become my own parent. I'm my daddy.
That's cute. I feel like where you're coming from in
Right.
any situation because you're willing to go there and think about it for yourself first. So it's like you can always have this in touchness with yourself, and you can use that as your tool of navigating your world and your relationships. And that's honestly like, that's the dagger, that's the point. Boop, deep, boop. Like, right, like, you know. So you're always winning in every situation because you're gaining and you're exploring and you're practicing. You're developing. Yeah, and imagine like two people doing that together, like me and you, like.
Hey,
Yeah.
it is real. I'll tell you that. It is real. And you know what's cool about relationships? I'll say this. Is that you become each other's mind. It's like if I say something to you, it's, you know, imagine your partner like a book, and everything you say or do, I don't know, like, you write it on them, right? And then if you later need to bring that back, what you wrote, remember that goal that you wrote or something, they gonna remind you, but hey, I could have sworn the other day you said you was gonna do this. And then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I did say I was gonna do that, huh? And then boom, set yourself straight. So it's like they listen to you, and they reflect you back to you, so you can listen to you.
Yeah, through positive reinforcement.
See how that go? Trust yourself.
Yeah.
Say what?
And we enforce, like, it's like a positive reinforcing, like a caring, coming from a caring angle, knowing that we are capable of anything, and like, why can't we do something amazing together? And there's no shaming, or there's no, like, you know, because otherwise you can't internalize it and navigate it for yourself. You just like get put into this like sense of fear or whatever. But like,
hey, some people need that.
Some people need that.
Just to learn how to navigate.
Yeah.
You know?
But like, yeah, it just depends on the person. So that's what I'm saying is like that, and then even that in itself, don't guilt or shame yourself for the way that you need it. You know, whatever it is, and maybe someone isn't giving it to you the way you need it to be. And
That part.
you could be like, I guess those are some needs. Like, people do have best areas of absorption, discourse, and patience. Yeah. So use that and don't feel bad about what you need to get for yourself. Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so, yeah. Yeah, man. Feels. You know, it's funny. I have this astrology app. It's called The Pattern. And I suggest y'all check out The Pattern. It's really dope. It's on point with like reading your chart and then you know, following your daily life. Like, yo, don't ever forget that as above, so below. Yo, this is why, I'm gonna say why I think that astrology is so important for people to understand. Because through these 7 universal laws, or what we call the Hermetic principles, if you look at the law of correspondence, you know, and you know, just look at all of them, to be honest with you. And you look at astrology, and then you start to observe life. You start to look into the sky. You start to, you know, look on the earth. You start to cut open the nut and see the patterns in between it. You start to cut trees in half and seeing all these patterns, and you realize that actually some of these patterns are similar in the stars and on Earth. So you start to realize, as above, so below, there's a connection, right? And through studying astrology, you start to see that, oh my gosh, like, yo, these people who are studying the stars are predicting the life experiences and events that are happening in my life somehow. And just like sit with that. these people are looking up at the sky and predicting, or even getting close. Even getting close is crazy. Even getting close to predicting the events and situations and characteristics and traits of my life and me. What the fuck is this? What kind of magic is this? So, my point about astrology now is that, like, this information is dying. Like, if someone told you that they had a blueprint about you, wouldn't you want to know how they got that? So nobody can manipulate you. You know, you gotta know what kind of beings are out here. You know. But anyway, that's why that's just real quick on what I think about astrology. You know, like, it's amazing. Yo, it even goes deeper. Astrology is in your DNA. It's not necessarily it's in your DNA, like, meaning that the understanding of astrology is the understanding of the energetic codes that are inside of your DNA that are being opened and expressed through your behaviors and ideas. That's the part. And that's the part.
That's why it's important to get to know those sides of yourself, like, and then you can apply yourself in benefit of yourself in any situation that you can put yourself in or find yourself in. It's like you're your own best tool, best keeper, best manager,
navigator.
Yeah. So, like,
your life.
Keep track and keep note and keep in practice.
And with that being said, yep, we love y'all, you know, and I know this looks like a Christmas sweater, but you know what? That's perfect, because I was born on that day. Even though I don't give a fudgesicle case about Christmas, I was born on that day. And with that being said, now y'all know my born date. Peace out to Lulu. Peace.